So in the previous class, we discussed about the principle and operation of a DC motor. Whenever a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, it will experience a force. That force will be given by Fleming left hand rule. The direction will be given by Fleming left hand rule, and the magnitude will be given by the formula F is equal to BIL. The magnetic field is from north pole to south pole. Lines will be there. In between there is a armature conductors. When the armature starts rotating, there is a generator action here. So there is a generator action in the motor. That means when the conductor starts rotating, those conductors will cut the magnetic flux and an EMF is induced. That EMF is opposed to the supplied voltage. In the DC motor, we are giving voltage as a input or supply, electrical energy as a supply. Suppose it will be voltage V. Because of that voltage, the current flowing through that conductor will place it in a magnetic field, then it will experience a force, then it will start rotating. Up to now it's a DC motor principle. After starting the rotations, the rotating conductors will cut the magnetic flux. That is generator action. So there is a generator action in the DC motor. The generated EMF is nothing but a back EMF or counter EMF. Why it is known as a back EMF means it will oppose the supply voltage. Why it is opposing? Because of Lenz law. Effect always oppose the cause. What is the cause? Because of supplying voltage, the current flow through it, it will start rotating. What is the effect? Because of rotation, an EMF is induced, back EMF. So that is the effect. Back EMF always oppose the cause, supplied voltage. That's why it is known as a back EMF or counter EMF. Let's see here. When the armature of a DC motor rotates the armature conductors, cuts the magnetic flux, and hence EMF is induced in them as in generator. So as similar in the generator, here also an EMF is induced when the conductors or armature rotates. The induced EMF acts in the opposite direction to the applied voltage because of Lenz law. It is known as a back EMF. The difference between the back EMF and supplied voltage is converted to mechanical energy. So the work done in overcoming the cause, in the current to flow against the EB is converted to mechanical energy developed in the armature. It follows, therefore, the energy conversion in DC motor is only possible due to the production of back EMF. So the equation for back EMF is similar to the EMF generated in the generator. Why? Because the same process, the armature conductors will cut the flux. So whatever the generated EMF equation in the generator, EZ is equal to N phi Z by 16 to P by A. The same formula is valid here also. So the equation for back EMF is EB is equal to N phi Z by 16 to P by A. So we already know N is the speed, flux is flux per pole, Z is the number of conductors, where P is the number of poles, and A is the parallel paths. If a given supply terminal voltage V, if it is given to motor, some current flowing through it, this brushes. Now in opposite direction, back EMF will be generated. The armature is having some armature resistance, and the current flowing through this armature will be IA. Here V is always greater than back EMF. So the equation I can write here, the voltage V equal to back EMF plus losses. For motor. But in generator, the EMF generated in the armature is equal to, EZ is equal to terminal voltage plus IA, RA. This is for generator. We have to understand there is a generator action in the motor. Whenever the current carrying conductor places in a magnetic field, it will experience a force. That the force is caused the rotation. After rotation, that conductor will cut the flux and EMF is zero. If the conductors are stationary, there is no back EMF. If the conductors are starting rotation, when the starts rotating, then only the back EMF will start. Without generation of back EMF, the motor cannot work. There is a significance for this back EMF. Suppose if the motor is added with load suddenly, what happens if the load is added suddenly? Automatically the speed will reduce. If the speed reduced, automatically the back EMF will be reduced. If you see from this formula, armature current IA is equal to V minus EB by, right? Armature current IA is equal to V minus EB by. If the motor is suddenly loaded, what will happen? The back EMF will be reduced. If the back EMF is reduced, the difference of V minus EB will be increased. Then the IA will start increasing. If IA starts increasing means the current flowing through the conductors increased. If the current flowing through the conductors increased, the force F is equal to BIL. If the current increases, the force increases. If the force increases means it will start rotating again. The speed will increase. Here we can conclude that back EMF plays a major role. Even if your load is suddenly added, the speed reduced leads to reduction in the back EMF, leads to increase of current, that leads to increase the force. So this back EMF plays a major role if load is suddenly added, as we discussed. If the load is suddenly removed, what happens if the load is suddenly removed? The speed increases. If the speed of the motor increases, then the back EMF also increases. Why? Because EB is equal to N phi Z by 60 into P by A. If the back EMF increased, what about to armature current? So if you see, if back EMF is increased, V minus EB decreased. Why? Because ఇది increase అయితే V minus EB automatically decrease అవుతుంది. If it is decreased, what about armature current? Decreased. If armature current decreased, then force decreased. If the force decreased, speed decreased. మనం లోడ్ ని సడన్ గా తీసేస్తే స్పీడ్ సడన్ గా పెరిగిపోతుంది, దెర్ ఈస్ ఎ డ్యామేజ్ అనుకుంటాం. కానీ డ్యూ టు దిస్ బ్యాక్ ఈఎంఎఫ్, దిస్ మిషన్ ఈజ్ ఎ సెల్ఫ్ రెగ్యులేటింగ్ మిషన్. సడన్ గా లోడ్ వేసినా, సడన్ గా లోడ్ తగ్గించినా, this magnitude of back EMF will plays a major role to regulate itself. And one more point, if the motor is started suddenly at the starting position, back EMF is zero. If the back EMF is zero, armature current is equal to V by R. Armature resistance is totally, it is very small value. It is about 2 ohms or 3 ohms, or maybe less also. 230 volts by 2 ohms, or nearly more than 100 amperes current flowing through the conductors. So high amount of current will be there at starting. That's why we use the starters for a DC motor. To start the DC motor, we are using starters, 3-point starter or 4-point starter. So we can discuss in further. ఇక్కడ టైం వచ్చింది కాబట్టి I explain. Why? Because EB back EMF plays a major role. Okay. Now see here, significance of back EMF. The presence of back EMF makes the DC motor a self-regulating machine. Yes, I already discussed self-regulating machine. It makes the motor to draw as much current, armature current, as it just sufficient to develop the torque. So armature current is equal to V minus EB by RA. When the motor is running no load, the small torque is required. If the load is zero, a small torque is enough to compensate that windage losses. Therefore, IA is small and back EMF is nearly equal to applied voltage. No load condition means rated speed. At rated speed, EB is very high, or mostly equal to, more or less equal to voltage. If the motor is suddenly loaded, the speed is reduced, hence the back EMF falls. You already know, speed reduced, back EMF falls. The decreased back EMF allows a larger current, means increased driving torque. So reduced back EMF allows a much current drawn from the supply, that is IA. Thus the driving torque increases, the motor slow down. So that motor will stop slowing down when the armature current is just sufficient to produce. So this is the explanation given for understanding the significance of back EMF, why the back EMF plays a major role. Next point, when the load on the motor is decreased, what happens if the load is decreased? The speed increased. If the speed increased, back EMF increased. If the back EMF increased, current will decreased. If the current decreased, automatically the speed or the force reduced. Due to the reduction of force, the speed will reduced. The motor will stop accelerating. That means reduction in the speed. So that the back EMF in a DC motor regulates the flow of armature current, and it automatically changes the armature current to meet the load requirement. That's why it is known as self-regulating machine. Now let's solve problem on back EMF. Here there are two problems here. Let's solve those problems. The first one, a 230 volts DC shunt motor takes 32 amperes at full load. Find the back EMF on full load if the resistance of motor, armature and shunt field windings are 0.2 ohms and 115 ohms respectively. Okay, let's write the given data first. 230 volts DC shunt motor takes 32 amperes at full load. The supply current I is equal to 32 amperes and supply voltage V is equal to 230 volts. And resistance of motor armature, so armature resistance is equal to 0.2 ohms and shunt field winding resistance RSH is equal to 115 ohms. So this is the given data. Let's draw a diagram. This is the motor with two brushes. This back EMF, armature resistance, and this is the supply voltage V and supply current I, shunt field winding, and which is having shunt field resistance RSH. This current is ISH and this will be armature current. We know the formula back EMF, supply voltage minus IA into RE. So we know supply voltage, armature resistance, but we don't know armature current. From this diagram I can write by using KCL, the supply current I is equal to armature current plus ISH. Let's write this be equation number 1 and equation number 2. So from this I know supply current and I don't know armature current and ISH. But if you see at this terminal, the voltage is the same. It is connected parallel, shunt connected. That's why this voltage in this place also the voltage is V. So from this I can calculate ISH is equal to supply voltage upon shunt field resistance. Supply voltage is 230 volts upon RSH is equal to 115 ohms. Now it is 2 amperes. Now I can substitute this ISH in the equation number 2. I can calculate armature resistance is equal to I minus ISH, that equal to 32 amperes minus 2 amperes. Now it is 30 amperes. Now I substitute this IA value here. I can calculate back EMF. EB is equal to terminal voltage 230 volts minus IA 30 amperes multiplied with armature resistance 0.2 ohms. Now from this I can calculate, it will be 224 volts. So from this I can conclude the back EMF is always less than the supply voltage. So the difference is 6 volts. That 6 volts is nothing but a armature drop IA RE, right? If suppose they given brushes losses also, we have to include those losses. So we can write minus brush loss if they mentioned. Okay, right. So let's go into the second problem. A 6-pole lap connected 230 volt shunt motor has 410 armature conductors. It takes 41 amperes on full load and flux per pole is 0.05 webers. The armature and field winding resistance are 0.1 and 230 ohms respectively. Contact drop per brush is equal to 1 volt. Determine the speed of motor at full load. Let's write the given data first. Number of poles is equal to 6. Number of parallel paths for lap winding, it is equal to poles. Supply voltage is 230 volts. Armature conductors Z is equal to 410 and 41 amperes current draws, that is on full load the current draws is 41 amperes. Flux per pole phi is equal to 0.05 webers. Armature resistance is equal to 0.1 ohm and shunt field resistance is equal to 230 ohms. That is the data they given. From this I can write the diagram, simple diagram to understand. This is the armature and these two are brushes. This is supply voltage and shunt connected winding. It is having some shunt field resistance RSH. The current with shunt field is ISH and it will be armature current and I will be the supply current, supply voltage V, back EMF EV and armature resistance RE. So what they want? They want to calculate the speed of the motor at full load. From this I can calculate back EMF EB at full load V minus IA RA minus, so the given contact drop per brush, so I can write brush drop. So I know the terminal supply voltage, armature resistance and brush drop, but I need to calculate armature current. From this equation I is equal to IA plus ISH. Now ISH can be calculated with supply voltage by RSH, 230 volts by 230 ohms, it will be 1 ampere. Now if I substitute ISH here, I can calculate IA as I minus ISH, that is 41 minus 1 is equal to 40 amperes. Now I can substitute this IA value in this equation. I can write EB is equal to supply voltage 230 volts minus 40 is multiplied with armature resistance 0.1 ohm and brush drop is 1 volt per brush. There are two brushes, it will be 2 volts. Now the back EMF is calculated as 224 volts. So it is 4 minus 2 6, so 230 minus 6, it's 224 volts. So what they want the speed of the motor at full load, but we calculated back EMF. So we know the back EMF formula. Back EMF EB is equal to N phi Z upon 60 into P by A. From this I can write back EMF I calculated as 224 is equal to, so speed at full load multiplied with flux per pole, they given 0.05, and number of conductors 410 upon 60, and P by 8 6 by 6, it's 1. From this I can calculate speed at full load. N is equal to, I calculated as 655 rpm, approximately 655 rpm. So from this we completed the problems on back EMF. So first of all we have to know this back EMF formula. After that we have to target as calculation of armature current. So for that purpose we have to calculate the shunt field current first. So with this we can calculate back EMF. After calculation of back EMF we can calculate the speed, right? Thank you.